Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is Matt Kahn, and it is Saturday morning. On a Saturday morning, our meditation is always come to your senses, which is simply a tongue-in-cheek description of the meditation itself, paying attention to our physical senses, the physical senses of this body. Somebody, good morning. Happy Saturday. So let's see how Matt Kahn's message for us today connects to this exercise. Matt Kahn's book, Everything is Here to Help You. Take a moment with that title. Take a moment to open yourself to the possibility of feeling the truth of this title. The book is called Everything is Here to Help You. This is an inspiration and helpful guide through the process of shifting out of the ego's perspective and into the soul's point of view. It should come as no surprise that the daily experiences we encounter are looked upon differently by our soul and our ego. So the question is, how do we develop the insight that leans into the soul's ability to learn from what we go through, rather than just caught in the ego's reactivity to the moment? So here's a thought by Matt Kahn from this book. He says, as a result of the experiences we've had, it is quite natural to feel unsafe in the world around us. Now, often in work with clients, that's exactly where we start. We often start right there. As a result of the experiences we've had, the truth is it's quite natural to feel unsafe in this world. But then, sometimes it takes a lot of work to not stay stuck there, to stay stuck in the belief that, well, of course, I should feel unsafe in this world. He says, however, from the soul's perspective, just by enduring each harsh outcome, whether it seems cruel or senseless or completely justified, from the soul's perspective, we gain the gifts of evolutionary benefit. Each gift rests dormant in our energy fields, like a hidden savings account that accrues wealth. This wealth is a deeper enlightenment. Whether we responded consciously or not to these unforeseen, unavoidable circumstances, just by having these experiences, the transformative benefits are already encoded within us. What he's saying is, of course, we go through experiences, many of them not pleasant experiences. And even if at the time we didn't learn how to see the benefit of the experience, just having had the experience still encodes our body, our energy field, with the benefits that are available, the lessons learned, the wisdom gained. And it is for us to just do the work to overcome the fear that has been created so that those benefits can become available. He says, however, the cultivation of heart-centered consciousness is what we need to allow these gifts from our past and future to be recognized and integrated more fully into our lives. Hey Anthony, good morning. It's good seeing you, man. The journey to embodying the wisdom of our soul starts with not getting involved in the battle with the ego. The ego whose job it is to fight for the survival of this flesh and bone body. Also, when we simply ignore what the ego feels, then our body interprets that as discarding warnings about possible danger, and the fear in our system then only increases. But when we sit down and listen, Our body interprets that as my concerns are being taken seriously. And then our body becomes willing to soften and relax. Instead of always trying to make ourselves feel better, we can learn to become better at feeling. And then we allow the experience we're having to actually be felt. Matt Kahn says, throughout the first stage of surrender, we respect the gravity of our feelings, acknowledge each thought, belief, or conclusion as having a right to exist, and we welcome each experience, no matter how surreal, one-sided, or distasteful it seems. Allowing the ego to express what it feels, inviting the body to express what is being felt, this is the doorway to embodying the soul. Because the only part of you that has the ability to hold a space that is safe while pain and confusion and discomfort are being felt, it is through the calmness and the openness and the wisdom of your soul. Today's meditation is a very simple exercise of checking in with our 5 physical senses so we can practice allowing the experience to be felt. The last thought from Matt Kahn for today is, everything is here to help you. Imagine that we really start embodying that and living our lives, even in the moment, knowing, acknowledging that, of course, everything is here to help me. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and we'll float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. When you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. Our journey today is the journey of checking in with this body, with the physical senses of this body. So let's start that right now with the next exhale. As your body softens, bring your attention to your forehead, to the space between your eyes. Do you perhaps sometimes catch yourself holding a frown there? And for this moment, can you just make sure that that area is soft and relaxed? With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to the area in and around your mouth. Do you perhaps sometimes find that you're grinding your teeth, or that your tongue is pressed hard against the roof of your mouth, or that your jaw muscles are clenched tightly? And if you find that happening, do you remember to have a conversation with this body? Let this body know that it is safe. With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your neck and shoulders. Do you perhaps sometimes find that your shoulders are really tight and pulled up high? Sometimes it feels like we can almost be pulling our shoulders up to our ears with tension. And when you feel that, when you feel those tight shoulders, do you remember to take a few big breaths, roll out those shoulder muscles, and remind this body that for the moment it can put everything down. With the next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your stomach area. The place where tension hides the most effectively. We can carry tension for decades in our abdomen. And for many of those years, we might not even realize that we're carrying tension there. When you feel that tightness or that nausea right there, do you remember to have a conversation with this body? Let this body know that right now it is safe. And it would be completely safe to soften. With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your legs and your arms, specifically your hands, because that is another spot where we easily carry tension without realizing in tightly clenched fists. Right now, are your hands half open, relaxed in your lap? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, continuing to help this body stretch, adjust, and settle down. Take a deep breath in As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. Lean your upper body over to the right. And then one more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least being as present as we possibly can be right now. We can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, take a moment to acknowledge this body. Perhaps even wrap your arms around this body and say, "Hello, body. I really love having you." Take your next big breath. Our journey of the senses starts at the top with our eyes and what we can see, and then works its way through our body. So with your next big breath as you dive deep into you, the question is, if you were to open your eyes, what would be something very obvious that you would see? And then as you hold your breath, use your mind to study this obvious object. See it from all of its angles, all of its color, and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. we'll change gears. We're still staying with what you can see, but this time as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, the question is, what would be something not that obvious? Something perhaps small, something perhaps hidden, something that you'd have to look around for a moment before you see it. And now study this less obvious object. Take your next big breath. Notice the ease with which you are able to take a step back and allow the sense of sight to be experienced, even with your eyes closed. It's still the same part of your brain that does the seeing. The message this morning from Matt Kahn is that we can learn to take a step back and see things from a higher perspective. In this exercise, we're putting that to practice with this very simple exercise of taking a step back and observing our physical senses. So let's take another step down to your ears, to what you can hear. And we'll keep practicing, just taking a step back and noticing what is there to be heard. And just observe that. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, bring your attention to the most obvious thing that you can hear. And then see how much of it you can hear. Can you hear the different vibrations, different layers of frequency? Take your next big breath. We're still staying with what you can hear, but this time we're changing gears a bit. When you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, bring your attention to the faintest sound that you can hear. What is something that's barely a whisper? Do you perhaps hear birds outside? Take your next big breath. Notice the ease with which you are able to take a step back and just observe the experience that your ears bring you. As we become better at taking a step back and just observing, we do realize that most of the time we have access to at least two opposite perspectives. which is what Matt Kahn talks about in his message this morning. He says we can see that we have access to the perspective of our ego, and we also have access to the perspective of our soul. By taking a step back, learning how to observe, we realize that we don't have to automatically be triggered into the perspective of our ego. If we hang back a little bit longer, we often see the benefit in slipping into the perspective of our soul. We'll take another step down, and for these next 2 stops, your nose and your mouth, change your breathing to whatever it needs to be in order to smell or taste. And then yes, these 2 stops are slightly tougher than the others, because it's possible that right now you don't have something you can bring to your mouth or your nose. You've got to just smell or taste the air. In that case, bring an extra dose of curiosity and playfulness. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see if there is any specific smell that you can find right now. Take your next big breath. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see if it's possible to find any other smell, anything besides the first obvious smell. Take your next big breath. As we get better at taking a step back and just observing, we do find that almost always we have access to at least 2 opposite perspectives. The knee-jerk reaction of our ego, or the wisdom of our soul. This very simple exercise, just stopping for a few minutes and deciding to not react to anything but just experience each sense without reaction. How much better can we get at taking a step back and just observing if we do this exercise every day and remind ourselves that in all circumstances, I can do this. I can take a step back and just observe first before I choose what to do about this. The next stop is your mouth. And this is the toughest one of them all. Bring a big dose of curiosity, because if you don't have something to bring to your mouth, you're going to have to try and just taste the air. But see what's there. Is there any obvious taste you find right now? Take your next big breath. And then we'll change gears. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, is there any other taste? Anything besides the first taste you can find? Take your next big breath. The last stop is the surface of your skin. As you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, scan the surface of your skin and see if you can find where the most obvious sensation is. Then as you hold your breath, see if you can notice different pressures and different sensations in that obvious spot. Take your next big breath. One last time, as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, scan the surface of your skin and find where is the slightest sensation. Could you perhaps only just feel fabric resting on skin, or perhaps you can feel the air touch your forehead or your cheek? Take your next big breath. We'll take just one more big breath together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time this few thoughts from Matt Kahn. And specifically from this perspective, as we become better at taking a step backwards and observing, which is just the opposite of being reactive. Reactive means that we act, we say, and we do before our wisdom has caught up. When we become better at taking a step back and observing, then we're giving our wisdom time to catch up. And then more of this becomes available, of what Matt Kahn speaks of. He says, as a result of the experiences we've had, it is quite natural to feel unsafe in the world around us. However, from the soul's perspective, just by enduring each harsh outcome, whether it seems cruel or senseless or completely justified, by having these experiences, we gain the gifts of evolutionary benefit. And of course, we don't see the wisdom in that when we're in the reactive space. When we're caught up in the ego's fear. Matt Kahn says, throughout the first stage of surrender, we respect the gravity of our feelings. We acknowledge each thought, each belief or conclusion as having a right to exist. We welcome each experience, no matter how surreal, one-sided, or distasteful it seems. As we get better at taking a step back and observing, we find that we can allow the space for these experiences to be felt, even when they're unpleasant or uncomfortable experiences. We can hold this space for them to be experienced. And the better we get at this, the better we get at taking a step back and observing, the more we learn who we are while we're observing. Who we are while we're creating the space for the experience to be felt. We're practicing being the strongest part of us. We could call it soul, wisdom, higher self, or even just self, because that's who you really are. Last thought from Matt Kahn is, everything is here to help you. It's a book worth reading. Everything is here to help you. We'll take the last 5 breaths of gratitude together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say your own. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this body and all of the sensory experiences it brings. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to take a step back, not instantly react. Learn to observe first. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that if I don't always instantly act on what my fast brain tells me to do, then I'm allowing time for my slow brain to catch up. I'm not always reacting from ego, then I'm allowing time for wisdom to make an appearance before I decide what to do about this. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to be the space that allows the experience to be felt. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us. Thank you, Sunray. Thank you, Anthony. And thank you for the background people that we don't always get to see. Wishing you a beautiful day. Wishing you an awesome weekend. See you again soon. Ciao, ciao.